There was a time in Chicago drill music where it felt like O Block just had it. They had the game in their hands. Okay. And maybe after the passing of King Von, we kind of saw the passing of the mantle to OTF. It's like Lil Durk and the OTF crew. They had the rap game in an absolute chokehold. But now I feel like if there's one crew that really just are like super turnt, super legendary, and super respected in Chicago, it's Bloodhound. That's the gang. That's hard. All right. Bloodhound Lil Jeff, Bloodhound Q50, Relva. These are the guys, these are the names that are synonymous with this new movement of just very hard drill music, very diabolical crash outs, applying pressure in the streets. It's actually crazy what the Bloodhounds have been doing. Unfortunately, Bloodhound Lil Jeff did pass away. And, that was just, a crazy time last year. It was last summer, everybody was just trying to get to the bottom of what was going on with Bloodhound Lil Jeff and how that all went down. But Bloodhound Lil Jeff, he's really getting his respect. A lot of people feel like he really is one of the biggest artists that kind of really made a big impact as far as the Chicago streets and the gangster stuff goes. And, he's really getting his flowers. I mean, I've just seen this, okay? Apparently the boy Future, okay, possibly one of the most prolific Atlanta artists in the rap game, period. Even he's shouting out Lil Jeff in a new snippet. Now, I'm going to play you a tiny little 2 tiny second snippet, and hopefully that don't get me claimed. But if it does, it's L, okay? But hopefully you get to hear this because he shouted out Bloodhound Lil Jeff in this new track. Let's do this. He said he's smashing this thought listening to Bloodhound Jeff wearing all of his chains. And people on Reddit are saying Future really shouted out Lil Jeff in a recent snippet. I never would have imagined this stuff. They're saying, I know Q50 was smiling when he saw Future shout out Jeff. They're saying he was smiling like a real demon, okay? They're saying it's crazy since they're saying that Jeff killed Trey Trey. But I don't even know about that whole situation, but we ain't really onto that. They're saying, so was that Trey Trey dude FBG, like Future artist, or FBG from the Burbs? People are saying that Future and them really knew Trey Trey. I'm going to have to look a little closer into this Trey Trey situation for you guys, okay? But that's not what this video is about. People are saying we need a Q50 and Future song immediately. I would like to see that as well. But there's a lot of crazy stuff that's been going on, man, because one of the best friends of Lil Jeff, okay, another legendary rapper who's really making a name for himself in Chicago, Vert, all right, he's been making some moves and he's having a lot of drama popping off today, okay? Now, Vert, okay, Vert 79, he's kind of, been tapped in with the Bloodhounds. Some people are saying he's Bloodhound. Other people are saying he just be around them. I don't want to put that too many jackets on him that we ain't got to put on him. But he posted a picture with Lil Jeff. He said, don't call folks your brother if you ain't bust a brain with him. Real savage. Okay, so he's saying he was out there busting brains with Lil Jeff. All right, and I'm not one to not believe him. Okay, I'll take his word at that. All right. So basically, all right, me and Relva, okay, we actually had our differences, okay? He hit me up asking for $500. He said because I did a video about him, I owed him $500. Not even a video about him, but more just like videos about Jeff. And I said, I clapped back, kind of taking the piss a little bit. I said, I can't do that, man. It don't feel right. I don't want the money to go to funding the war and perks. I'm going to do something positive for the city instead. And I was trolling, man. I made a $500 donation to Chicago Cred. I think that was the charity that I sent money to after this, man. And this was kind of like a funny little back and forth that we had, okay? But I really don't want to have anything bad to say about Lil Durk, okay? People were kind of laughing at that. And then Vert clapped back. He said, Trap Lil Ross, I just made you donate $500, you old, you goofy. You owe us 10,000 more. Now, I don't think I owe you 10,000, but okay, in this video, I'm going to be very respectful and I'm gonna be very positive. I'm going to say nothing but positive things about Rel Vert because he is having a lot of motion, okay? He has had a lot of songs with Jeff and other people like Lil Scoom, that have had a lot of views. This track, Wreck to LA, it's got 14 million views. So this guy's got real motion in the industry, man. He's got a huge vlog with Brandon Buckingham that's got 4.9 million views. Like, that is actually some insane numbers, okay? The track with Lil Jeff, Stretch, 4.7 million views. FTO, 2.9 million views. Q50 and Big Op and Relvert Go. This song was a banger, okay? That one's pushing like 2.5 million views, and then we're getting to his solo stuff, right? 2.3 million views on his solo song Chasing. So Relvert's having a lot of motion, man. I ain't got nothing bad to say about Relvert. 1.5 million views on what it was, his solo track, all right? I'm giving him the free promo package, all right? I don't owe you 10K, but you know what I'm saying? I'm giving you 10K's worth of virtual promo for now. Okay, that's what we're gonna say. 3 throw. All of these songs, all of that scrolling, and we're only just getting to songs that don't have a million views on it. And you know these are coming. This was dropped just 6 months ago. So Massive respect for Vert for everything that he's achieved. You know, he's turning his life around. He's really making a positive difference. And allegedly, he signed a very big and lucrative record deal, okay? He's getting to the bag in the industry. You don't need no 10K from me, bro. You signing a deal. I need 10K, bro. Give me 10K for this promo, right? Rel, like, come on, man. Let me get a little piece of that record deal. I don't know what he signed for. People were kind of making fun of him in the comments. They were saying $10,000, 360 deal, 5 perks and a gallon of tris. Other people were saying a bit more realistically, 250,000 to 500,000. People saying it's a loan, basically. The label, the plug, they front you the money and you got to invest it to make profits and be debt free. You know, I feel like what's interesting, people are saying it's probably 750,000. Even if he didn't, you know, people saying $500,000, 250,000, it's definitely for some good money. People saying Q50 ain't signed for $1 million. I could see Q50 signing for $1 million or even more than $1 million. But if the deal's worth $1 million, you don't necessarily get all that. You got to invest that back into yourself. But hopefully Vert is making the right moves. But unfortunately, I don't know whether he signed to Lil Bibby, all right? Lil Bibby, the legendary, you know, No Limit native who was instrumental in the rise of Juice WRLD. Okay, him and G Herbo were kind of going back to back. They was a duo at one point. This legendary song, Kill Stuff, I'm going to say Kill Stuff, okay, with G Herbo and Lil Bibby. They really had the streets of Chicago. They put No Limit on the map, all right? And they really did their thing. But at a certain point, okay, it seemed like Herbo went legit. He went, you know, the rapper route, and Bibby went legit in a different way, and he basically kind of just took it to the next level as far as being a mogul, being an executive, and all of that kind of stuff. And he's been signing a bunch of people. I believe that he did some kind of deal. I don't know whether this was before or after Lil Jeff passed away, but you know, a lot of the music that Lil Jeff has released appears to be kind of you know, licensed to the label under Bibby's label. I believe that Lil Bibby is instrumental in Q50's deal. But unfortunately, it seems like there's been some tension between Vert, Lil Bibby, and AMF Visuals, who obviously is a legendary, you know, not just videographer, but also somebody that actually has been working really hard behind the scenes to get these guys forward in the industry and do a lot for their careers. But apparently, okay, there's been unfortunately a little bit of tension between Vert and Bibby, and Vert has called out Lil Bibby and challenged him to fisticuffs, all right? Fisticuffs at dawn. I know that's the English way of saying a shootout on the BloodHound block, but, you know, we're going to keep it PG in this video. But he really called out Bibby, man, and this was I couldn't believe what I was seeing with this one, man. I don't know how this is going to affect them deals going forward. Maybe he signed to someone else, but this was crazy. Look at this.
Tension brewing between you and Bibby and AMF. What's going on with that?
Niggas soft as hell. That's all. Niggas soft as hell. And look, we can set up somebody set up a celebrity boxing match with me and Bibby. I'm gonna beat his ass. Like, for real, you laugh? Like, I'm gonna beat his ass. Like, tell people we can set up a celebrity boxing, we can do it. Y'all.
So there you go. He's saying, I want to set up a celebrity boxing match. I want to fight Lil Bibby. He's not feeling it, okay? And people are hating him in the comments. They're saying Bibby gonna overbeat his ass. You know, they're saying he got a rematch Fatso first. They're basically hating on him, okay? People saying don't buy the hand that feeds you. People saying you don't know what's going on behind the scenes to make him say that, though. They're saying it's the music industry is getting screwed over. All a contract is from a label is a loan. You sign for 100K, you owe 100K in performances, appearances, or whatever to recoup that 100K. The labels and distributors always gets the lion's share, and the artist always feels slighted because people are making more money off his work than he is. It's a story as old as music. Everyone signed to the Irish vampires off sinners in the industry, okay? People say, I'm not going to lie, everyone talking like Bibby and them got them popping, but in actuality, Bloodhound don't need Bibby and them for real. Sign into him and do nothing but slow them down, in my opinion, okay? They're saying Bibby got him in the death row contract, so I guess maybe he's unhappy with the deal. Maybe the deal was with Bibby. And they're saying, and you have it, folks. Bibby finna shelve them Bloodhound dudes. They better be smart and gone start networking and getting other stuff lined up, because beefing with your label is a dumb decision, and it's going to hurt them all in the long run. People saying, I kind of agree, but no one he's signed is making any noise like them. I know they're bringing in money. People saying, what money? They can't do shows. The money's showing down. I heard they got 60K for a show in St. Louis. They didn't even have to play that show. But I'm joking, okay? They're saying, well, basically, right, there's a whole bunch of backstory to that. Now, Bibby actually clapped back in a comment, okay? Bibby basically clapped back, and he said, drugs are bad, people. And Rico Reckless got a little beef too. He says, tell him fight me. You know I can. He said, you know I can't fight. Tell him fight me. And Vert said, we kill dudes like you. But Lil Bibby in there saying drugs are bad. Even Big Op, I don't know if that's a real Big Op, but Big Op's commenting, crying. Obviously, they got a song together, okay? And then Bibby's posted it again. Who knows if this could be fake promo to try and get a little bit of motion for the label, or it could be genuine. But he's saying, I don't know what they're putting in them yerks, but it can't be good. It's playing with your head, man. And some people have clapped back saying, yeah, Bibby should have been saying stay off drugs when Juice WRLD was popping 11 yerks in a day. But apparently Bibby begged him to go to rehab. That does seem a little bit different to, you know, this image that's circulating of apparently a handful of pills. Lil Bibby saying, Lil bruh, a real junkie at Juice WRLD. That was shot on a potato. But yeah, basically, you know, Bibby's clapped back. I mean, I feel like for an executive in his position, I don't know why... oh, that's a crazy comment. They're saying he fried Rico. Like, I don't know why they're beefing like this. People are hating on Bibby in the comments, but maybe this is some promo. Now, to be fair, and no disrespect to Rel Vert, I rock with Rel. I like his music. I rock with Vert. I like his music. I like what he's doing. But he himself named his mixtape. His mixtape is called The Hardest Junkie Out. Okay, so I don't feel like it's necessarily disrespectful to say I'm not even going to call him a junkie, but he dropped a tape called Hardest Junkie Out. This is a real mixtape that's dropped. It's on Spotify, right? He said he's the hardest junkie out. He's the one that made it clear, all right? And, you know, he's been on IG Live numerous times, sniffing perks like all the other Bloodhound members. Check this one out, man. I ain't going to show the whole thing, but you're going to see what he's on from the start of this, okay? So really, like, you know, he himself said he's the hardest junkie out, and he's out here doing junkie behavior, so I feel like it's only fair.
Play with my heart, I'm going to relapse with 500 hoes. Hey, 50 got my chain, y'all. If y'all ask, 50 got my chain. So I'm thugging like this to right now. Hey, grab the card, bro. Play with my heart, I'm gonna relapse with 500 hoes. I just gave Swerve a perk. I got no man. Hand me doing what's name.
He's crushing up the perks. He's saying, I done gave Swerve a perk. Like, this is what he's on. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Bibby ain't lying, but also, like, it would be good to see Vert kind of get off the drugs and get clean and maybe, you know, see what his career looks like with a little bit more focus. But at the same time, you know, a lot of these guys, the drugs are a big part of their creativity. And, you know, clearly he feels like, this is something that maybe is part of his lifestyle. Obviously, those guys are dealing with a lot of trauma. BloodHound Lil Jeff getting killed. There's been numerous other people from both sides that have lost their lives and clearly been in some really traumatic situations. But yeah, this isn't the way, man. He got like a little statue he's using to crush up the perks, and he's dusting it off the bottom. And look, I know he's dealing with a lot of trauma, right? So look at this Reddit post. He's clearly going through a lot. You know, he's posting his people that have passed away or got locked up. He's saying, I miss you all. People are saying, I feel for Vert. So, you know, a lot of people turn to drugs, man, when they're going through a lot of situations. They're trying to numb the pain they're going through. So I do have sympathy, you know, for what he's going through. And, you know, basically it is kind of sad. Now, I do feel like Vert actually has a lot of potential in the rap game, even though the behind the scenes antics maybe aren't necessarily the best thing. People are saying that Vert and Quando Rondo's cousin apparently have a song that they're going to drop together, okay? This is WAP, who is apparently Quando's cousin. They're saying he's about to drop a song with Vert. And a lot of people are saying Vert's trying his hardest to get near YB. He's trying to network that whole side for real. But that's a smart move, man. If Vert can actually get his hands on a YB feature, that's going to be the biggest thing. He's saying, see, when was trying to network a bad thing? You guys just hate Vert, right? And so why wouldn't he try and network like the biggest rapper in the world? Like right now, you be too invested. They're saying that's his blood brother. I don't know if they're talking about Quando's blood brother. They're saying the whole thing of the rack's supposed to be against YB because Von was from there is so stupid. Like half of them dudes don't even like Von or don't care about him dead or alive. Like I didn't ever see any kind of connection between the Bloodhounds and Lil Jeff and Von and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, they're saying it's actually Quando's blood brother, not his cousin. But you know, basically, I just feel like, look, I don't know if the beef between him and Bibby is real. I respect Vert. I really respect Q50. I feel like Q50 is one of the most exciting kind of musical prospects coming out of Chicago right now, and he's got a crazy backstory. But, you know, I do feel like if everybody's not careful, you know, these guys are way too loose with the yerks. They're way too loose with the crushed up pills, all of that stuff, bro. And it's all well and good, you know, you in the streets, you're trying to defend yourself in the streets, but, you know, you could mess around and go out on an overdose, man. And we really don't want to see that because you guys have got so much potential. You know, me and Vert had our little back and forth. We had a little viral moment, but realistically, bro, I got nothing but respect for Vert. I feel like he's doing positive things for his career. You know, hopefully he can navigate some of the hardships that he's gone through, some of the pain, some of the losses that he's, you know, had to deal with in ways maybe beyond the drugs. And even Bibby, you know, Bibby's clowning him saying drugs are bad. And look, Okay, he's trying to diss him and be disrespectful, but maybe there's a way that we could see over time. You know, Vert might be able to get clean. He might be able to make some more music that maybe just has a little bit more of a like an emotional connection with his real side off the drugs. And I'd be really curious to see that, man. I'm doing nothing but supporting Relver, you know, the Bloodhounds, Q50, everybody from over there. Like, I really love the music. Anytime you guys drop, I'm always super vested, super interested in it. And you guys, you're getting BloodHound Lil Jeff getting shouted out by Future. So you are on the radars of the biggest people in the game. So I'm saluting the Bloodhounds. I'm praying for them. I don't know if Lil Bibby's running a little promo campaign, if they've really got some beef. I don't know if I don't know if Vert's quite in the tax bracket to have a fist fight with Lil Bibby, because I know Lil Bibby be getting to the bag. He be riding Rolls Royce all the time. I'll be seeing what he be doing on little posts that have gone around over the years. So yeah, hopefully this beef doesn't get out of control. But I want to see the Bloodhounds win, man. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You think it's a fake beef? You think they're really going to have a boxing match? I doubt it, but hey, who knows, man? This social media game, it gets crazier every day. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm going to take a little break. I'm just going to basically get a few topics together. I need to work on this main channel video because I know I've been slacking on the main channel in the last few months. I'm about to make something on the main channel that's going to go crazy. I will give you more information about that soon, but I'm so excited for what's coming, man. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you check out the full 6ix9ine interview. We're basically moving on from that in the next couple of days, but it has been absolutely crazy. And just thank you for everybody that's bearing with me. You know, I know there's always ups and downs in this game, man, but I know for a fact that I'm really working hard to make sure that the next few pieces of content that I deliver to you guys is absolutely A1. So thank you for everybody supporting. For anybody that feels like they're not really feeling some of the last stuff I've dropped, just bear with me. I'm going to drop some really great stuff that you guys are really going to enjoy. So thank you so much. You know, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out here. Peace.